Hello, I am the ocean of the oceans, Deep Woo, where we do the deepest of woo, and good to see you. Hi. Oh, we're celebrating the whole week because, actually, a little longer than a week, because we have just officially, by anybody's standards, moved out of the old era and into a new one. We are literally in a new age. And this is Ruby. Okay. In a new age. I forgot to turn the sound down because I have to watch your comments on another device. It's just the way it's working right now. For some reason, I'm having trouble seeing the comments from over here. Hey, Jason, how you doing? What's up? So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Clown World obituaries. This doesn't mean people who actually like, this means people who are like off the shows and stuff, and who had some things cut back, so to speak. So it's like the death of certain forms of silliness. We'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll talk a little bit about our wins, because it's really important to keep the manifestation going, to look back at your wins and acknowledge them. In the meantime, while people are finding me, because I know it takes YouTube a little bit to actually announce that I'm on, I'm going to show you something. This is the intro. Okay, come on now. Hello, and here we are back, and I see that some of you found me. Yay, even though I'm running way late tonight. Okay, Sundays by request, because Sunday's kind of hard for me. I got stuff cooking on Sunday these days, and it's a little bit of a rough day, but if you want me to come in on Sundays, if that's a good day for you, let me know, and I'll try to come in for a little while on Sundays. Today, though, I had early appointments, so I couldn't do it. Um, okay, so if you're requesting, okay, I'll try to come in on Sundays for at least a little while. But a lot of times Monday I have to catch up for what didn't get done last week. So, okay, so that's the way that goes for now. And I'm so glad to see that some of you noticed and got the announcement that I'm here, even though it's late. And I have been having, okay, I'll tell you, I have been having ever since this portal thing started, I have been having back issues again. Old stuff seems to be flaring up, okay? And, and so it's been kind of a up and down thing. Like sometimes I'm fine, and then sometimes it's like, um, old stuff has comes flaring up. And I don't want to not be here, but it's like when my back is screaming, I can't really be very, it's hard to be positive. It's hard to be, um, me, my nice self, you know. Um, but, oh, okay. Yes, I've been sleeping a lot. I've been sleeping a lot. I need a lot of sleep. Um, so aloha hook. Aloha, my um, lovely family, my ohana. Um, hopefully this will clear up. Uh, I expect it is beginning to clear up. So, like I'm not doing too bad right now. I think it's clearing up. But this kind of season seems to bring out, we're getting a lot of things out of us, trying to get rid of things. I mean, that's part of what this show is about, is we're getting rid of things that we've been needing to get rid of. So, uh-huh. Oh, well, if Puck Elf shows up here, he just gets blocked. We don't we don't debate him anymore because he's just, you know, he's just up to no good, and he can keep walking. He can keep scrolling. I'm sorry if you're looking for a debate or something here with somebody like that. It's probably not going to happen. So sorry about that. Not really sorry about that. He doesn't really deserve. The reason he does this shit is attention. He's lacking in attentions. Apparently, he doesn't get enough attention in any positive way, and it's like a tiny child. Eh, if they don't get it, children learn this. If they don't get positive attention, they'll get negative attention. Fine, right? They'll do something to get negative attention. but I'm not your mama. Hmm. Yeah, he's a nut. And he really needs attention. And I hope that he finds the right kind of attention, which is probably medical, though. I hate to say. I don't hate to say he needs medical attention. He really does. His attention that he needs is psychological. So, yeah. Me too. I'm feeling the power of the universe as well. Yeah. Most of us. Oh, you trolled him a little bit. Good for you. I uh I kind of feel like when it comes to a battle of wits, I'm dealing with an unarmed man though. So I don't, you know, troll him too much because it's sad. It's kind of sad. But I'll troll him, yeah. He's just freaking nuts, unfortunately for him. Hope that he gets help. And maybe in this new oh look at that. I was gone for a little bit today, so guess who was all over me wanting pets? He has to have his pet. So now he's over here making sure that he's all ready to get his belly rubbed while I'm doing the show. There's Mr. Purbox. Yeah, it's just I've gone beyond having the patience for some things. I used to be rather more patient, but somebody else's turn. Somebody else's turn with some of these people. Look at that handsome boy. Look at that sweet little face. Look at that. He's so handsome, and he's happy to have me back. He's so happy to have me back. Mom, you just got to keep petting me in today. Every time I put my hand down, he has to get, he like bumps my hand so I give him more pets. So he's pets. Poor little starved kitty. Okay. Um, oh, let me see. Scenes, what the hell? Style? What does that look like? Oh, I better not screw around too much. Because the Lord knows what it's going to be like if I start screwing around too much. Okay. He is looking wonderful, really. He is looking really healthy and good. Yeah, he is. He is a happy boy. Very happy. Yeah. He's getting his purpate pretty regularly, which is rotisserie chicken. So, hey, rotisserie chicken ain't bad. Um, if you're a little kitty cat, that's pretty good eating. So he gets a little bit of rotisserie chicken. We eat one rotisserie chicken a week between us. Like, cut it up for sandwiches and casserole and stuff like that. And then some of it gets ground up into purpate for him. And that's how we eat a whole rotisserie chicken in a week. So he's a happy, happy boy. And I noticed that when I give him his purpate, he stops eating sooner. He's full faster. So it's not just empty calories, it's more satisfying. So they've probably been doing the same thing to our animals that they're doing to us, putting things in the commercial food to make you want to eat too much. So when he gets real food, when they get real food, then they just eat a normal amount and they're fine. Richard! Richard the non-ginger. And Red, the non-ginger Red. And Tiger Butterfly, hi. And Scotty boy. Mm-hmm. And Ginny has got a purple collar. Yes, so she's not a feral anymore. She's now officially loved by somebody. Officially. That's great. So I'm so happy. You're pretty Japanese kitty cat. Yeah. Yep. So, and I really do recommend, ooh, half a turkey. Ooh, that's right, Dolly. You got all those turkeys. You're a turkey magnate now. You're rich. Loading up your peace pat. We have a lot to celebrate. Let's discuss it. Um, if you have something to discuss, let me know. And we'll probably let you up here. I will try to get my hours to be more regular soon. I swear though, it's just been, I have needed, here I go again. I've needed a lot of rest for a while now. It's like a lot of things are changing, but I have noticed I'm just changing a lot. I'm going through a lot of changes. Probably you are too. It's the season for it. So don't be surprised if there are many, many changes. Changes in your body, changes in your health, changes. Um, like I said, I had this horrible back pain. It was so bad, I was feeling faint. I was feeling faint. I couldn't sit up like this very long. It hurt. So that was that. We got through that. I asked for some help, actually. I said, hey, you guys, you want me to do a show? You're going to have to help me out here. So, before I went to sleep, I said, I need some healing work on my back or I'm not going to be able to do a show. So I woke up with a much better feeling back. So I guess they wanted me to get in there and do the show. So you guys, yeah, it just turns out now that they want me to keep doing the show regardless. Okay. But I'm not going to be sitting here in pain if I don't have to. So that was yesterday, and really, I couldn't be on yesterday. I had something I had to do today, plus I was in a lot of pain yesterday. But if you let me know in the comments here, do you want me to start coming on Sundays again? It may not be for very long, but I could start doing that again. Maybe. I'm beginning to feel a little better. If I'm up to it, I'll come in on Sunday. Sunday is very iffy. Like any day is very iffy right now, but I think that we're going to get through that. I think as things begin to clear up, we're now in a new age. And as you can see, and if you haven't noticed yet, Clown World is really seriously tanking. Okay, there's still going to be some running around, crazy shit running around happening. And I told you that was going to happen. Exactly what I told you is going to happen is happening. Okay. They're going to be crazy because it's over and they know it. And it's going to be more and more over as time goes on because we're going to have various disclosures. And they tell me we're going to have every kind of disclosure, not just that yes, there are people flying around in our sky, not just that, and not just that they've been here forever. This is the beginning of it right here, is the discovery under the pyramid. Okay. That is going to lead into other kinds of disclosure. It's just the beginning. Elderberry. How you doing, Mr. Elderberry? So, and hello, Daddy. Well, hello, Daddy. Um, so, uh, oh, you do. Yeah, I have a feeling we're all going to get some cleaning out, have some cleaning out. You were having intense dreams? Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, the Hawkeye's getting coffee. He's getting ready to come on. Well, I I don't know what to tell you. Do what you want to do. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't be seen over there. Nobody can see me over there. I can't participate. So I told you I'm shadow banned from here. So um, oh no, Johnny Depp's into the trafficking stuff. Yeah, we're gonna see something. Okay, here's so far. Now here, maybe you guys can come up with some more. Let's count our wins, okay? Because as we count our wins and things to be grateful for and we show gratitude, it's going to bring us more wins, okay? We have to count our wins, and that will bring us more wins. Okay? This is what I'm told. Bring us more wins. Not just passing by. And what have we seen die in Clown World? We have seen people get taken off their shows, fired from their shows. Literally, we have seen, what was her name? Joy Reid, who was very incendiary, very left. She got herself in trouble from being just a little too nasty. Okay, the ratings were dropping like a rock. People are waking up. They're just not watching this shit anymore. Less and less and less. It's becoming less and less relevant. So she got fired. There's people on The View getting sued because of their nastiness. And inciting people to violence. I think there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. I think people are fed up and we're going to see lawsuits. The death of DEI. There's another obit. Okay. That's gone. There's, let's see. They've peeled the Secret Service drain of money off of the Biden kids. And that is great because now Hunter, who has fled to, I guess, South Africa, is now just put out a video that that shows that he's all alone. People are trying to figure it out. Like, what is he doing? He's just panning around and making these sounds like, you know, it, unintelligible sounds. And then he walks in the apartment or wherever it is, right? Okay, so what was he trying to say? They're trying to figure out. I know what he was trying to say. He's trying to say, look, I'm totally alone for the first time. For the first time, probably in his long time, he does not have Secret Service. He does not have a bunch of Secret Service around him anymore. He is alone. And he looked like somebody that was standing in line in a soup kitchen. Well, you know, the Bidens can afford their own. They can afford their own Secret Service. So, ah, 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 ah. Tip of the iceberg. Yeah, we've got all these people being deported. Some of them are being tried. Let's see. Man trying to threaten me seemed a bit stressed. Well, you know what, Tiger? There's probably going to be a lot less of there's. It'll kind of reach a crescendo, and then when they find out they can't get by with shit and as like they used to, it'll start to slack off. Um, I think they're mirroring the camera. They're making it look mirrored tonight. Why do they do that? It's really annoying. Quit doing that. So you can't read things. Hang on, take two hands. Okay. Okay. Jeff Beck and him got out. Jeff Beck and, oh yeah. Right, they knew about the pyramid. They're just now letting us know because I think they're getting pressed to disclose and they're going to do it. They're going to try and do it slowly, but I think once the dam breaks, it's going to go a lot faster. Oh, died of a heartache? Biden's attorney died. You mean heart attack? Hmm? Oh dear. Yeah, Hunter looks like he lost his crack pipe, his favorite old crack pipe. And his crayons, yeah, and his little friends, his little Secret Service friends are gone. And let's see. Candelabras look real. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I like this. I like this backdrop, even though it shows stormy weather out there. That is what we have traditionally in the spring here, anyway. To me, it's pretty. I don't know why this just there. That's better, a little better. Why does it not look straight? What's wrong here? Come on, get serious. Just straighten up. Okay, I think I got it. Does it look straight now? Yeah, you know what? They do, don't they? Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Candelabras look real. Um, and let's see. She's been packing up crystals all day. Cool. So she's doing good with her crystal shop. Johnny Depp is bad too. Well, it doesn't surprise me, but it's sad. Hmm. Okay, so I really think. Now, who's Jeff? Who's aging rapidly again? Oh, Jeff Beck. Yeah, auto F up. Just well, it's too bad. Yeah, I love lightning too. I do too. I definitely love lightning. Um, I had some lovely beef stroganoff. Waiting for the jokes. Okay. Um, no, we don't have a bull in the backyard that likes to play. Anyway, it's not what I meant, and you know it. Oh, I do. Thank you. Yeah, he's been abused. It's pretty obvious. He's a really good looking guy. What do you want to bet he's been way abused? So I'm talking Johnny Depp. He's real good looking guy like that. Yeah, he's probably had a lot of abuse, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Well, cool for you, Tiger. Yeah, the dragons in the sky are cool. Yep, that's cool with me. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? I've seen him. And actually, people with me have seen him too. We've seen him together, so I know it's not just me. And Hollywood is lost. I'm sorry, Hollywood is just so lost. Uh, CGI, yeah, has ruined it. Yeah, Disney is on its way out. Yeah, is what Hollywood is a magical wood was sacred in magic to the Druids. So, of course, they were going to use the magic. But Hollywood is pretty much dead. Yep, woke Snow White is bombed like nobody's business. And I saw her saying, what is her name? Ziegler, and she was doing this weird. Well, depending on, if you voted the wrong way, we don't need your business. Just don't come see my movie. I bet the studio was thrilled with that. Well, it's okay. We don't want to come see your movie anyway. So yeah, we'll be glad to not come see your movie. Yeah, DEI has effed everything up. Wokeness has effed everything up. And I think it's going to be a while before that clears up. Um, oh dear. The hair that's coming in light's making it look like I don't have hair there. I do have hair there, I promise. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. We all are very hard on ourselves, on how ourselves and how we look. It I know that a lot of people just get on and they just do it, and I have to do that. Uh Sometimes I try to put on makeup and stuff, but then I realize um, there's a lot of people who don't do that, mostly guys. So I don't know. Guys don't do that; they just go on. You watch the Robert De Niro Mafia movie, okay? Well, De Niro's crazy too. And De Niro he made a really crazy stand. Some of these people are really doing like crazy. Yeah, Disney is a zombie. It's gone, which is sad. We had some very good movies come out of there at one point, and that's some very fond childhood memories. But then when you look back at it, there are actually places where you can see that all the way through Disney was perv, had so much perv stuff. The very first Mickey Mouse cartoon was straight out perv. Um, Somebody on their channel showed the first Mickey Mouse cartoon, and it was in a Swiss cheese factory. And guess how he was poking holes in the Swiss cheese? Yeah. Uh, it was very apparent. It was obvious. So, what we didn't realize is Disney has been effed up all along. So, we've got to, get over the notion that it's any kind of a family thing. It never was really. They made it look like that, but mhm. So she pretty much killed her own. Oh, cowboy, I love you, but your fur up the nose, just little guy, I love you, but oh man, we're flying. Um, yeah, circling the drain. They're circling the drain. The movies are bombing. Oh, thanks. It's just me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't go to movies. Premieres and all that crap. Yeah, well, I don't want to like take time off from the show to go wash all the fur off my face from Cowboy right now. It's gonna have to wait. Um, Chloe Jane. Oh, do you like to be called Chloe Jane? Uh-huh. So, Chloe Colef. Richard really, yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing we knew. Pardon me. Ah, I love you, but oh, your fur is something else. Gosh. Now I know why he wants to use my finger to scratch his nose, poor little guy. Uh, Probably really itchy. Little cowboy likes to grab my finger and scratch his nose. It's in the video, it's in his shorts. Um, let's see. So that's a win. Uh, I think they're going to have to disclose after finding out that they've got construction under the pyramids that could not be done by primitive people. That's going to bring disclosure. They're not going to be able to hide that much longer. That is impossible. Impossible. And news about the tunnels is starting to come out to the regular public. I mean, some of us have known this forever. Chloe. Okay, Chloe. Or Chloe Jane. If you like Chloe Jane, I'll try to remember. Yeah, I miss the wonderful world of Disney, but not anymore. It's not as wonderful as we thought it was. Oh, come on. Ah, there. Oh, okay, that helped a bit. I think it's because part of the fur problem is it's winter, it's dry, and there's static clings. So the static is bad. Okay. So anyway, we had some really good movies out of them, but it's gone. Yeah, DEI funded by our tax dollars. That's bullshit. That's gone. Or, well, there's a judge trying to bring it back, though. You know, there is a judge trying to bring it all back and wanting to re import the criminal illegals that have been deported. She wants to bring them back too. She thinks she's a president. She thinks she's a president. You know what? We didn't elect her. We didn't elect her to be our president. I love him. I'm not allergic to cats, but he has Cowboy has a double coat, and his undercoat is very, very, very fine, almost microscopic, and very woolly, very curly, and itchy as all get out when he starts to shed. And I can see that he wants pets and he wants to be groomed a lot because that's got to be freaking itchy. But it's there because he comes from the Isle of Man. The Manx cats come from a cold place, and that's probably how they stay warm. It's the same way sheep stay warm with the woolly fur under their regular fur. Their regular fur, their top coat is slippery. That would help the rain and snow to stay off of them, right? It'd be like little, but it makes their fur, it gives their fur kind of a broken look. Um, but it'd be like a lot of little umbrellas. So he's well suited for where he comes from, but that's not where we are. It's not where he is. Uh, Shape shifting dog. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we have all kinds of, you guys, like I said, you guys can probably come up with more even than I've got. But we have been winning a lot. And they've been coming in and trying to change that, change our winning into losing. It's not going to happen because we're in a new age now. We're literally in the new age. We're not at the dawn of the new age. We're in a new age. So, come on. Allowing China, yeah, yeah. We are not Chinerica, but I'm afraid our neighbors to the north right now are China. They're halfway to being China. And, you know, there are some provinces that are talking about seceding now and annexing themselves to the US. So even if we don't get Canada as a whole, we might get a few provinces. I don't know. But they're talking about it. Now, it probably depends on what the next leader is like. Um, you know, how crazy is the next one? Uh, Unfortunately, now I looked into because one of my friends is Polish, and she's always talking about how nice Poland is. So I looked into Poland, and yeah, they're nice. Guess what? They have a very mega. They have a leader with mega values, only for the Poland people. Make Poland great again is what he was into. You know what they do? They have a border that they have a big fence up, and then they have a wall, and then they have in between there a road that's patrolled all the time. They have guys with guns all along that wall. And if anybody tries to come over that fence, the orders are to just shoot them. And that's it. That's it. Somebody tries to come up over the fence, shoot them. So they're saying, yeah, Poland is the safest place in safest country in Europe, maybe in the world, for that reason. So, and their economy is doing way better, and everything is doing way better. Why? Because they're really putting their own people first. So, yay, Poland. But the problem is, this leader's only going to be in there for another few months, and then they're going to have somebody else in. And the front runner looks to be a liberal type person. So, God help them if they're just about to have a Biden. Who knows? Are they going to have a Biden go through their Biden era and then know better after that? Figure it out after that. Um, you've got to have somebody who's strong and willing to do something to help their own people. It's what you need. You got to have that. Hmm. Russia becoming a 50. What? Russia's not going to become a 51st state of Lewis. You're so silly sometimes. Uh, yeah, Richard, your crow. You got the wonderful crow. Okay. So anyway, we have a lot to celebrate. Let me see what else is there. There's the collapse of the Biden empire. The Biden empire is going to collapse. It's on its way out. We've got okay. We've got reason to not trust some of these big government, organizations like CIA, the alphabet organizations. So those are being very much looked at. People are really afraid that Social Security benefits are going to be taken away. And the problem is that there was somebody who does help people with their Social Security benefits. And he says there may be some disruption because if you take away the people that make the infrastructure and like fix the computers and stuff, if you take away too many of those, there could be service interruptions and there could be a lot of effing up. So, well, that may, they may have to, do something about that. This guy was worried that they're not going to have enough people. Even right now, it's hard to get somebody on the phone to talk to at Social Security if you've got a problem, and the field offices are mostly closed. So, they're for most of them, you got to have an appointment. So it's a lot harder than it was for some people to get any kind of information, and that's going to be a problem. But I think they're going to address it. They've already walked back a couple of things because I found out they screwed up. They went a little too far, and they already replaced some of the things, put it back, like studies on AIDS and stuff. They want to keep that. But anyway, yeah, the eclipse is on the 29th. It's going to be another big day. Downloads from the sun. Yeah, that's right. Saturday night. It's going to be a night, right? And that is the other end of the portal opening. That's the other end of the tunnel, so to speak. Between the two eclipses is the tunnel. So we're still in the tunnel right now, so to speak, and we'll be coming out on the 29th. So hopefully we come out on the other side. Like I said, it's really important what you're doing here in the tunnel, what I'm calling the tunnel. Which is why I'm sitting here celebrating wins, because honestly, we need to do that. Okay? We need to celebrate our wins. We need to celebrate what's actually going right and encourage that. So I really wanted to come on and remind you that we're winning. Don't lose heart. Don't think that, hey, now, don't dream it's over. Clown World is over, though. It really is. It's dying. You can see it everywhere. Clown World is dying, and it's kicking and screaming, but it's dying. It's a zombie now. Okay. Clown World is just a zombie realm. It doesn't quite know it's dead. The Democrat Party is pretty much a zombie, too. No brain. It's looking for brains. They got no brain. And they don't know they're dead. And now, let me see, AOC, they're going to try and have AOC be the leader. Harris is going to try and come forward. Well, you know how popular she was. Harris thinks she's actually going to help the party by trying to be the leader. Woman, didn't we speak loud enough? I thought we spoke pretty loud at the last election. You're not getting it, okay? You're not popular. Oh, Jeez. I bet she looks cute with her new purple collar. Oh, that's cute. Hey, Hook, I saw something I want. I don't know if I can make it. I might be able to make it, though. I might try to make it. But I saw this lovely octopus hat. You know, the octopus part goes on, it looks basically like an octopus is sitting on your head. And it was entirely crocheted. So I want one. I'm going to try and make one. Um, no, it's the kitty cat. She's got herself the cat distribution system, brought her a kitty. Yeah, I like that. I want one. Maybe I want two, even. Cute. The other one might be the jellyfish. That might be cute too. That's kind of so. I'm like, this is gonna be fun watching this. Like I said, pop the popcorn, salted with Clown World tears. Liberally salted, liberally salted with Clown World tears. Yeah, Ziegler found out how important she's not. It's so funny. I know people are going to come out and see my movie anyway and pay to see my movie anyway. It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Actually, they're not. Nope. And we don't torch cars or torch towns or burn down things. It's funny how conservative people don't do that. They just stop putting their money in things. I've been saying this for years. What people really understand, especially corporations, is money. They talk in money. If you don't give them money, they understand that. So what do? We Bud Light. We don't harm people. We don't harm their property. We Bud Light them. We withdraw our funds. We withdraw our support and our funds. But what are these people doing? I mean, that is so crazy, torching Teslas. Why? How do you? And the horribles, sad, because it was their party that was really touting Teslas. So most of those people whose cars they're torching are probably libs on that, were on their side by buying those cars. They did it on their behest, and now their cars are all getting torched. It's not hurting Elon a bit. I'm pretty sure he's thinking, yeah, buy as many cars as you want and torch them. Doesn't care. And if his company takes a dive, it'll go back up. He probably figures it'll go back up in time once the craziness is passed and some people get prosecuted and sent away for 5 to 20 years, which is what the sentence is generally. If you do that kind of damage to somebody's vehicle, and even worse damage to their business. And all these people that are telling people to go out and do this are subject to lawsuit. And all of these people calling him, okay, so now they've sort of stopped with the Trump Hitler stuff and now they're calling Elon Hitler. They can't make up their mind, or the Antichrist or whatever. Okay, they just can't make their minds up. Who's Hitler and who's the Antichrist? But it's just anybody they don't like at the moment. And they're looking sillier and sillier and sillier. And the hills that they choose to die on are hills that no sane American wants to die on, okay? The Democrats are over, unfortunately. Though there's a few of them. Oh, and then they just pulled one on Schumer, and whoa, what a interesting, very interesting how he got trapped. They pretty much put him between a rock and a hard place where yeah, if they don't pass this bill, there's this bill that they didn't want to sign. And, the Democrats are, no, we're not going to do that because um, it would ensure that Trump has the power to do some things that he needs to do, actually. And they didn't want to sign it. And it's funny because now, well, okay, if you don't sign it, the government's going to shut down. So it's up to you. And everybody's going to know that it's you who did it. We didn't do it. You did it. And they caved. It looks like they're going to cave and they're going to sign. So they pretty much got a choice of becoming very unpopular. I mean, even less popular than they are now and looking even worse, and letting the government shut down or signing the bill or, signing on, voting for the bill. And the only one, now, isn't it weird? The only one of them that seems to really have a brain that thinks, that makes some sense, is Fetterman, who had brain damage. Did it kill the little parasite? That was, what did it kill the part of his brain that was addled by, that was, lib addled? Um, and I think back, I was more liberal at one time. I had colorful hair and didn't like Trump. And hated Trump, and it turns out for no reason, because once I really looked into it, it's like, oh, gee, there's really no good reason I should be hating him. But that's me, and I don't watch TV, so I wasn't getting the message every single day to hate him. And I started looking at and listening to it and going, okay, some of the shit sounds crazy, but then over here we've got Hillary. Maybe that guy needs a chance. I mean, it's either that or Hillary. Sure didn't want Hillary. So then Trump gets in, and actually, as crazy as he sounded at first, it's weird how much he was right about. He turns out to be right about everything. And I'm like, whoa, something's going on with this guy. And this is beyond us. This is just beyond regular. And we've got different stories about why that is so. Some people are saying that he's got the time machine. He's playing 5D chess. He's playing or 7D chess or whatever it is. Whatever it is that's going on, or he's being advised by somebody who knows a fuck of a lot more, right? Whatever. Or maybe he's not even the original Trump. There are people who are saying, I mean, there is a woman who does readings who is saying he's not the original Trump, and nor are any of these world leaders the originals. It's just a brand. We're seeing a brand and we're seeing a play. And it's kind of like championship wrestling. So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, one guy bought one so he could smash it up on camera. Oh, I bet that hurt Elon so much. I bet he was laughing all the way to the bank. But that's the way to do it. You can buy all you want and smash them up, but don't smash up somebody else's, or you might end up going away for a long time. And I think this is great because really it's going to get a lot of the crazy people off the street. Then they had a video of some guy that was smearing his, sorry to be indelicate, butt juice all over a Tesla. Oh, that was gross. Like that's really going to do something to Tesla. Yeah. Yeah. Fetterman derangement syndrome. Yeah, they're going to have probably. It's so crazy. Yeah. There's just, yeah, the Barron Trump book is insane. Time travel. I know. Um, yeah, everything meant for my greatest good. Yes. That's the way I have to look at it too, is I'm looking at it like there's a reason this is happening. I think the reason we had to go through the Biden years is to just show people this is what happens. I mean, that unfortunate that we had to do that, but it really woke a lot of people up. It's very sad what happened to so many people under Biden. It's terrible what happened. But we had to see, we had to see how much they freaking care. They were trying to say he's breaking all the decorum. Trump is breaking all the decorum of a president, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I don't give a fuck if he F bombs. I F bomb. I don't care. And I think that's part of what got him elected too, is he talks to people like people talk to each other. So he comes off as a lot more genuine. I mean, he sounds like your boss or your coworker, your CEO or whatever. He just sounds more like a regular person. He doesn't sound like somebody who's far removed from reality. He also met people where they are at like McDonald's. I think everything that he's doing seems to be such a strategy, though. The more I look at it, so strategic. It's really kind of, the more I see the strategy, because they knew that people were going to go, oh no, they're going to be deporting citizens, now they're going to be deporting legal aliens and blah 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 blah. It's like, and somebody was trying to tell me, oh, when they make biracial couples illegal, I'm like, they're not going to be making biracial couples illegal. Oh yes, they are. Oh yeah. Where do you get this from? Oh, lots of things that are going. I said, oh, wait a minute. Have we forgotten that Vance is married to an Indian woman and she's brown? How's that going to work out for him? Well, I guess it isn't going to work out very well for him. I said, okay, so why would they do it? What would be the advantage? And she's an immigrant. And so is Trump's wife. Their wives are immigrants. Why would they do that? Why would that even happen? Why would anybody even think that? It doesn't make any sense. Crazy. Yeah, YouTube has been editing me for a while too. YouTube is going to have to come into alignment soon. They're going to have to come into alignment soon. Mm-hmm. Trump doesn't even have 4 years to get it right. They knew they were going to have to move fast because they knew that they were going to get jumped on at every turn. You know, that as soon as they got started to get stuff done, they were going to get jumped on. They were going to get lawfared. They knew that. I mean, when I look at how strategic everything was, everything down the line has been so strategic. It really almost looks like it does. It's beginning to look more and more like 5D chess. Maybe somebody's helping him, or maybe it's true. Maybe he isn't the original Trump. I don't know. I can't prove it either way. Yeah, when his words aren't taken out of context, it makes sense. He actually makes sense. Oh, and then Walls trying to help the Democratic Party by talking. Walls, you shouldn't even speak. If you want to help the Democratic Party, leave. Gee, the second least popular VP candidate, right? I mean, Kami was pretty dang unpopular, but the guy that she chose to run with is even worse. Oh, God. So, Melania. Yeah. Yeah, the media's full of shit. Absolutely. Ignorance is bliss, Yeah, and Bernie Sanders is, oh my God, what a mess. That whole thing's a mess. The whole mess that they got themselves into. I'm like, dudes, I hate to tell you this, but the best way you can help the Democratic Party, some of you, is by just sitting down and shutting up. And AOC trying to be the leader. They've got AOC as the front runner now, and she's batshit. And she needs to go back to tending bar, because at least at the bar, people want those wines, right? She's serving up the wines. She should be back at the bar, tending bar. That's where she would be best serving people. That was her best service, and yeah, they got no hit. They got no brain. Unfortunately, they got no brains in that party, and they're dying. And Fetterman, the guy whose brain was brain damaged, is the only guy with sense. One of the very few that has any sense. The irony is so funny. I just can't even. Some of the ironies are just amazing. I think we're going to see a lot of things like that. I think we're going to see a lot of irony. Oh, the irony. Oh, they caught the one who killed the firefighter captain. Ah, really? Yeah. He ran out of CNN. Oh, geez. Yeah, you can't even make it up. Yeah, the basketball shorts. Yeah, the guy running around in the hoodie and shorts, refusing to wear a suit, that had the brain damage. He's actually the only one making any sense in the Democratic. No, that is so funny. It's like, oh God. the irony, it's so funny. It's yeah, it's like it could be a freaking soap opera, couldn't it? It's like I bet there are people face palming the whole time at this whole thing, and but it's our turn to laugh, okay? Because for 4 years we had to put up with shit. I mean, it was crap too. I mean, anybody trying to say that that was a successful term needs the same kind of operation as Fetterman, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's freaking nuts. So we've got some interesting times. Like I said, disclosure is coming because they're neglecting to cloak more often now. So when somebody goes by, just wave, hey, hi guys, hello. But I think there is kind of war going on. There is talk that there is kind of war going on up there, and we've been at war. And I felt that we've been at war and just not allowed to know it between the stuff going on in the dumbs and the stuff going on in the sky. And it's just that a lot of our brothers and sisters are not cloaking now. A lot of them come from what we would consider inside the earth or under the earth or whatever that actually means. Inner earth. So, which I don't understand entirely what that is. Some people say they know exactly what that is. I don't know that we really do understand it entirely. But, there is a game. I found out the name of the game, Assassin's Creed, that they have a Telluria. And we have a contact named Andros of Telluria. So there is a Telluria in this game. It wouldn't be the first time that disclosure was in the form of a game. Look at Omicron. And Bowie was part of Omicron. I wonder if he has anything to do with Assassin's Creed. But yeah, so apparently Telluria is somewhere on just another level of Earth. So, and it's a colony, it's a little Lyran Pleiadian colony. And we have a contact. Hey, Andros. And then, of course, we have another contact, Othelo. So actually, we do have some contact with our family. We probably have more than we even know. Because when I hear of me, I every now and then I would think when I was hearing the name, I was thinking Mira. But I was thinking, am I hearing Mirror? Am I hearing Mira? It turns out there is a Mira. I think she's with the Pleiadian Collective. So I guess I was hearing from her too. So they have been contacting me, but I didn't know. I couldn't be sure who I was hearing from because of my own doubts of myself. I was doubting myself. Like, what am I hearing? Is that a name? It took me something to hear Othelo. It took me something to hear Andros and Telluria to really go with that because I'm thinking, is that right? I'm getting better at this. I'm trusting myself more. But it takes a lot of belief in your ability to be able to hear that stuff, to be able to come out and say, you know, on a broadcast here where it's being recorded, I'm hearing from Andros of Telluria, you know? And so now it makes sense why a lot of times we go and we do our RVing. And when we were RVing, is there an inner earth? And if so, what is it like? We remember we did that remote view. And doggone, I ended up on a ship with a bunch of blue guys. Well, hey, that's why. Is because Andros of Telluria, probably. I probably have, and so do you, have counterparts on the ships. Probably all of you do have counterparts, fractals on the ships, parts that you are other soulmates, so to speak, on these ships. So, and then we've got the interdimensionals, and I know that I've done the interdimensional thing, the time travel thing. We've got time travel. We got everything going on. We do. We have every darn thing going on. I'll tell you right now. And I believe we've got time travel going on. I believe we have interdimensionals. We have inner earth. We have beings from out there, right? I think we got it all. So I think it's going to be very interesting in time. Yes. The blue guys. Yeah. There's a whole nother solar system. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of other solar systems. Just so it's going to come out. It's gradually going to come out, and I think really it's going to come out faster as time goes on. So it's kind of funny, and I think it's going to be much weirder than anybody gives credit for. And I think we're going to find out what's going to unlock it is going to be that find under it when it finally really comes out what's under the pyramid. That is advanced. That's very advanced. That's way too advanced for guys with copper chisels. Okay, there is no effing way that they made that structure. Now, I got to tell you, on this channel, the old group that I had, we were all remote viewers, and we took a trip to see how the pyramids were made. Pyramids weren't even made by humans. Not even the ancient Egyptians made them, no. The ancient Egyptians were from Atlantis. They were Atlantis refugees. They found them. They found the pyramids. I think this is what I think happened. And I do, this has been raised before, but I'm kind of going with it. I think it is true. They found the pyramids. They were inheritors of the pyramids. Right. Yeah, the giants made them. The giants and the lizard people, because that's what we saw. Okay, and we didn't just see. It looks like the Anunnaki and the lizard people, maybe the Anunnaki, because they look like the Anunnaki are shown with the curly beards and hair, and you know, and some of them had orange eyes, so they weren't human. And too many fingers, right? And they were huge, colossal, like the colossal statues. And that's why everything's so freaking big. And the lizard people. lizard people, like hecklefish, lizard people. The reptilians, the Earth reptilians. So I don't think it was the Draco. I think it was the Earth reptilians, because we've got reptilians that are actually from here and they evolved here. So, by the way, some of them are reaching out. They're not evil. Well, actually, they're not any more evil than we are. Every species is a mixed bag, okay, just like we are, as far as I can tell. Almost every species has its good examples and not so good examples, okay? So, you still have to use your discernment, but it looks like some of the Terran reptoids are reaching out, and I literally have met people who have told me about being hybrids. Some of them even have like on social media. One of the things that one of the representatives said was, if you have a hybrid, one of the hybrid characteristics are they don't have the same tendon structure in their arms as the ones descended from the hominids. So they're missing, a lot of them are missing the structures that you would be using to swing through the trees, basically, to climb, swing through the trees, do that kind of things, because it wasn't necessary. Well, I really even wonder about myself, but all of us are a mixed bag. Our genetics are very mixed up by now. So many people have done experiments on us, so many species. I mean, I think we've been the world's largest petri dish. Earth is the world's largest petri dish, and it gets disinfected every so many years. That's been my view of it, the way I'm looking at it. Every so many years, they have a reset, and the whole petri dish gets scrubbed, and it doesn't get scrubbed entirely, but, they get wiped out, and then they put the next experiment down, or they put the remnants of the old experiment that they saved down and let them replenish. And then, it's been like that for a long, long time. So I really think this has happened over and over, and I don't think it's been maybe just 5 times. I mean, the Indians say maybe this is the 5th world. I think it's been more than that. I think it's been more times than that. I really do. So I think maybe a lot more times. I don't know. But there's layers and layers and layers and layers. But the people who built it looked to me like the people who built the pyramids were huge. So the blocks weren't that big for them. And they had floating platforms in the sky. Some of them had constructions on them. And we're seeing all this stuff hanging in the sky. We're like, oh shit, they did have artificial gravity. They had, and gravity negating technology. And they did have, in another view, I saw what looked to be it looked at first to be an animal that was eating the side of a mountain or the side of a hill. And it turned out to be a machine, and it was pooping out bricks, these great, great big, huge bricks. So they had printers, they had machinery that we don't have. Okay. Uh, so, oh, you thought it was Sunday night tonight. No, it's Monday. And Monday's already over, and now it's Tuesday. Jeez. Yeah, time has been really blurry. I noticed that too. Time has been really blurry. It's like, is it Monday, Sunday, Tuesday? Today I had to keep reminding myself it was Monday and I have an appointment. Um, I thought maybe I imagined it because it wasn't on my calendar. Somehow it didn't get saved in my calendar. Maybe I just thought I had an appointment. No, I really did have an appointment. Oh shit. Okay. Um, and yeah, time is really freaking blurry. Yeah. Well, no, it actually looked more like some kind of monster. You would have thought it was a monster. If you were some primitive being back in the time, you would have thought it was some kind of monster that was eating the hill, is what it looked like, because it had these great big jaws that were just taking big chomps out of the side of the hill, up boulders and shit, and pooping out blocks. And I was standing right where it was. So it's like I see these big jaws, like, I'm like, but forgetting they can't do anything to me. I'm not really physically there, but I'm stepping back and going, what the hell? No, oh, it's a machine. Okay, it's just a machine. So, but these guys were huge, and the machine was huge, and everything was huge back then, and that's why you see these really huge constructions and also these really huge corpses, basically. Some of these topographical features were people. They're dead people, basically. It's what's left of them. So, you know, yeah. And I mean, that's why. And we have clues. They call a mountain face because it was somebody's face. They call gold vein or silver vein or whatever because it was a vein. It was somebody's vein. It was biology. I'm with Roger on that. All of this was biology at one time. It makes you wonder what it really looks like without all the corpses on it. Without all of these titanic, huge corpses, what would the world have even looked like? Who knows? Maybe it was a much smaller planet at one time. Could have started out way smaller, and then also the sun blows solar dust onto all the planets. So they're gradually growing in size. So who knows how big we actually were when it started. How big was Earth when it actually all started? We don't know. It's hard to say. And then some matter was ripped away in the explosion or collapse or whatever it was, the collision, supposedly. And that's probably why we have, you know, ocean covering like a third of the planet, is because that's where the hole is, right? And the water all rushed into the hole to fill up that hole, the Marianas Trench. So that kind of makes sense to me. So we've been through quite a lot. But yeah, I'm really looking at hillsides and mountains and everything differently now. They were people. That's why we have all of these, I mean, some of these tunnels could literally be the bowels of the earth. Consider that a minute. What if some of these winding tunnels were somebody's intestines at one point. We don't know. You remember going into a portal? Me too. You put your vac on last night. What do you mean your vac? What's a vac? Yeah, oh, the air conditioner. Yeah. AC. Okay. So, yeah, what we saw was definitely an advanced civilization when we RV'd it at the time of the pyramid building. So this is no surprise to me that these were advanced builders from an advanced civilization, and the colossal statues that we're seeing were their normal size. As a matter of fact, I'm beginning to wonder if some of the colossal statues we are seeing are actually people. What if they're not statues? You know, one of these huge standing statues fell over and broke open, and what looks like organs is in there, petrified organs. So I'm beginning to think that some of these statues are not statues either. They're not carvings. So, and then I think probably the Egyptians, being Atlantean refugees, come here, find the pyramids, and start carving all over them to claim them. That's probably what really happened. They didn't build them, though. Just like we didn't build these huge domed cathedrals, we didn't build them. We found them. We founded them. When all that comes out, there's going to be a lot of people who are kind of pissed off. Wow. And we'll get to sit there and say, hey, told you so. But yeah, I think the pyramids were actually the reptilians' version of building, because it's an entirely different version of architecture than we have. It looks entirely different from the Tartarian type stuff, and it looks entirely different from our stuff. So I think that was their style of building, was in the shape of it was a pyramid. That was the way they built things. So that's their technology. So we're probably going to find that out at some point. Some of these dinosaurs were intelligent and helped build the pyramids. Humans actually were in charge of the pyramids. But along with maybe Anunnaki, I don't know, the Nephilim, who knows? Who were those huge people, right? It just goes, you can argue about who the Nephilim really are. But it's interesting because in the Norse tradition, the realm of the death goddess, Hel, her realm is Niflheim, which is darn close to Nephilim. So, okay, wait a minute here. Are they talking about the same people? Is Niflheim where the Nephilim came from? Niflheim? Hell's region? Hell's realm of the undead, the they see it as the realm of the inglorious dead. So that's why it's cold as hell. Hell's realm is cold. Cold as hell. It doesn't have it. Then some people say that term was originally cold as hell, but if it was cold as hell, that would fit too, because the actual hell, it was, her realm was cold, and she was the death goddess. So, yeah, whatever. And she actually was, I think, partly responsible for hail anyway. Maybe that's all related there. So, anyway, I think our history is going to start to come out. Who are we really? Yeah, exactly. Who are we? We are all hybrids. Absolutely. Haleakala? Haleakala? Did I say that right? Haleakala? Yeah, and there's pyramids everywhere. And mountains are quite often melted buildings. Yeah, some of them are people, some of them are melted buildings, melted cities. Yep. That's becoming more and more obvious. Pyramids are power plants and also healing centers. They caused vibration. And also remember, everything they did, everything from that time had multiple uses. Everything they had them do as many things as they could at the same time. They also recycle water. They also recycle air. They also send a vibration out. So they make music, literally. And they send a beam out the top. They might have been transportation devices, and we think they were most likely transportation devices. So, as well. So they did a lot of things. Yeah, Maui's Haleakala. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, cooked sand is basically glass. And of course, if the clay gets cooked, it becomes more like pottery. So, yeah, we're a devolved version. Yeah. Well, we're re-evolving, so they're finding ancient everything. I mean, there's going to be, I think there's just going to be too much of it for them to cover it all up. It's going to be coming out just too rapidly for them to cover it all up. So that is part of what is happening as far as a disclosure. I think it's just going to be people without the structures that they had. I told you, remember a long time ago, I told you that the brains behind Clown World took off. Okay, they're gone. And hasn't it been looking exactly like that? There are fewer and fewer smart ones, which means that the ones that are left to their own devices, and they're not very smart. Okay, the brains are gone. The ones that were brainy, the ones that were pulling the strings, the ones that were making the plans are gone. So all that's left is the minions. I told you that. All that's left is the puppets. All that's left is the shells, and the shills. And it's certainly showing now. We're getting down to where they got nothing left, practically. I mean, we're seeing the dregs of the dregs, you know? And look at how they're acting. There hasn't been a smart one, like I said. Amazing. They've got one, Fetterman, maybe two, maybe three I've seen that actually makes some sense, you know? There's been a couple of Congress people, I guess, or senators or something that haven't been too crazy, but the surprise is Bill Maher becoming more sane all of a sudden and looking and going, okay, you guys are doing crazy shit. And he's starting to make fun of it. So, I mean, that was a surprise because he used to be like way on the other side. So, but I guess he figures if he wants to stay relevant and funny, he's going to have to change his ways and talk about what's really going on. Actually, say some real shit. Yeah, they're just about done covering it up. Yeah, they're getting dumber with every generation. They're just getting dumber. Um, well, and that's just it. Is that we were devolved intentionally. The genetics messed with the 12 strands cut back to two. And then we keep trying to re-evolve. Then they keep trying to find ways to keep that from happening and reascend. And then, so it's been this push, pull, push, pull. Nature is going for ascension. I mean, we're naturally going to evolve and ascend. And they've been trying to keep that from happening for a long, long time, trying to retard that, trying to block it with the poison and the so on and so forth, all of the stupid stuff, the wars, the weather events, and all of that crap. But we're doing it anyway. It's just, there comes a point at when the floodgates are going to open and it's just going to be over, and we're already seeing signs that that's happening. So, um, you know, take care of yourself, protect yourself, be discerning, but really the worst of the worst is over. I think probably we went through some of the worst of that back during, you know, the time when the Catholic Church was the world church and the only authority, and they were killing everybody that didn't agree with them openly, and rulers were openly torturing their people. We're just crazy, crazy, crazy shits. You know, so we're ascending now. Like what I was going to ask you is if anybody has an opinion, anybody watching this later on has an opinion about what yuga are we in now? Because there is not a consensus. Some say we're now in ascending Dwapara. Some say we're in ascending Satya. The Satya is the golden age. If we're ascending Satya, yeah, I'm not sure it's getting explained very well. It looks more like the Dwapara to me, heading for the Satya. But I don't know. That just seems Yeah, it looks like, well, we could be on the ascending such, I suppose. But anyway, I didn't grow up Indian, that kind of Indian. I didn't grow up the other kind of Indian either, the native to this country Indian, Native American either, because, although we retain some of our ways, I didn't grow up on a res or anything or with a lot of native elders, or although we did have some people, I mean, with some of the ways, my mother was braiding the women's hair and putting them in the Princess Leia space buns when she was a kid. Well, that's one way of saying it, Hook. RFK is taking his time. I know. What's going on? What's going to happen there? We haven't seen too much of that. Now we're waiting to see. What the heck are you going to be doing, RFK? Taking your time, RFK. Why aren't you in the headlines? Come on. Or maybe he's not quite ready for all the pushback he's going to get. He's going to get a lot of pushback. Maybe that's a whole nother story arc. I don't know. That they're kind of hanging back a little bit to get over the Tesla story arc first. Because that's already quite a rumble. But yeah, when I saw how elegantly this bill that is coming up for a vote, how that got played, I'm like, okay, somebody very, very smart came up with this, the way to do this. And I'm not sure that was really, yeah, who would do that? Who would be able to come up with that kind of an idea? Who would be able to engineer that? That was engineered. A lot of this, as a matter of fact, maybe all of it is engineered. Maybe it just doesn't always go exactly to plan, but it's probably going more and more to plan now that we come out of the dark age. So now it's probably going more to plan on the light side, which is why I'm not worried. It's not going to be ever as dark as it was. We made it through the really bad stuff, really, really bad. So we're going to make it through this. It's going to be okay. Yeah. Well, you know, they gave Socrates hemlock to drink. Telling the truth has always been dangerous. It's a sad thing. Everybody who ever told the truth. I don't think so, though. Look, I don't think it's all another psyop. I don't think it's exactly a psyop. I think it's something else. But I think it's a plan. I don't think it's exactly a psyop, though. At least not like the old psyop, old school psyops were. I think this is different. But do I think there are still psyops? Yeah, I still think so. I think there are some, yes. It'll be interesting to see. Mhm. Oh, do you think that there's something sinister? More sinister. I don't think so. I think there are some sinister things going on. But do I think that For instance, MAGA, I don't think it's sinister. No, I don't think so. Are there some sinister things going on? Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, definitely in the world, yeah. There's still some very sinister things going on in this world. Is everybody an actor? Maybe. You know, there's a whole there is a whole group of people that believe that everything is they're all actors, every one of them. I believe that probably the part we see as actors, there may be a real personality behind all that, but probably what we are seeing is actors. Like, I don't really believe Trump was really handing out that wasn't a real Trump handing out burgers. Taking out trash. No. Do I think that was really him? That would be a nightmare for Secret Service, wouldn't it? No, I don't think that was really him. After being shot at? No. No, no, no. This is what I think. They've got people helping them keep up and I kind of like the way that some people say it, the brand name. There's the Donald Trump brand name. They're probably, he's probably got alts just like Putin does. We've known for a long time Putin's got alts. All of the world leaders got to have alts because their lives are in danger all the time. You know, it's dangerous to be a public figure anymore for a long, long time. So, probably for quite a long time, nobody's been the real one. And, well, so we're seeing a version of them. We're seeing the brand. We're seeing that means we're probably seeing a version of Elon. We're seeing a version of Trump. We're seeing a version of everybody. We're seeing a version of everybody who's anybody and not probably the real virgin. Not a real virgin. Even Cowboy's looking at me funny. Says, Mom, look at, oh, I'm trying to get my attention to get some belly rubs now that your fur's all up my nose and I got fur all over my hands. And I love you. I love you, Mr. Mew. I love you, baby Mew. You don't believe we rescued anyone from space? Well, you know what? That's another win. Yeah, we had the astronauts come back that Biden left up there. Okay, so are you one of those that doesn't believe in space? Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone's what they seem. Uh, I don't believe anyone's what they seem to be. I don't. I think it's all just everything is just. Yeah, if you're one of the flat earthers, I got a lot of information for you that, you might want to rethink that. But is there space? There kind of has to be. But if there's not, then, and this is my question to flat earthers, and they have absolutely no explanation. One of my questions is, okay, so if we're in a dome and the world is flat, it's really a flat plane. What's it sitting on? Are we sitting on somebody's coffee table or on somebody's nightstand? Are we an alien ant farm? And if so, what's that table sitting on? Are they sitting on a planet? Or are they sitting on another flat plane? And if they're sitting on another flat plane, what's it sitting on? Think about this. I mean, the flower of life, okay, the flower of life is said to be the pattern for everything, the pattern for creation. And it is made of a bunch of circles. Okay, actually, spheres, made from a bunch of spheres. I have to go with the sphere hypothesis, but not really so much in our case is the world a sphere. It probably looks more like a torus. I'm going with toroidal because we're toroidal, really. We got a hole here, a hole there, you know, down the axis, you know. We got a hole at both ends. That's and a toroidal energy field, and so does the Earth. So chances are we're, the Earth is toroidal too. And it looks that way when we RV it. So it kind of looks like it's not perfectly round like a ball. It's more egg shaped or something. But it's not perfectly round. So either. But then again, that could be partly because a chunk of it got knocked off. So we don't know. No, I don't believe NASA is NASA telling us the truth? No, I don't believe it either. Well, yeah, and that's what I've been saying, Lewis. Is it's all a hologram anyway. It can look like anything. It could look like anything. They could literally make it look like anything. They could drop in a little bit of different code, and it could look different. It could even be that maybe it's changed. I remember when I was building worlds in the 3D format online, we started out with a flat chunk of land that we built into a world. So maybe it's kind of like that. I don't know. Not sure. Oh, I'm not assuming that you are. I didn't think you were. Hook, you know better than that. I was saying I was talking to flat earthers, not you. Oh, well. Well, that was fun. Anyway, I'm off because it's been 2 hours. And yep, been 2 hours and I'm out. So I'm I've had it for the night. And on that note, I'm out of here. Because, I could use some sleep. Um, uh, oh, wow, I'm trying to read. No, it looks like her hook took off. Well, Luce, now you're floating around there. Oh well. Like I said, 2 hours, I'm gone anyway. I'll see you next time on The Price is Right, hopefully Wednesday. And hey, it's free entertainment. What can I say? Okay, have a nice night. Sticking with the turkey. I didn't mean to say that she was a flat. Well, if she thinks that and you see her in some other chat, tell her that that's not what I meant. I was more or less teasing, talking about how I talk to flat earthers. Because honestly, that is what I tell them. I ask them, I say, hey, so, okay, so are we on somebody's coffee table? Where are we sitting? Where are we then? They never have an answer. If we're not in space, where are we? And they they don't know. They don't have an answer. It's just the truth. You know, they haven't thought it through far enough. Although they've thought all these it reminds me of the people who bought the really expensive machine for testing it out, and then they tested it and they found out that no, there was a curvature to the earth, and then they concluded that the machine was wrong. There was something wrong with the machine. You're not gonna convince those people of anything ever. So it's their own world. It's their own world that they're living in. But I didn't mean specifically Hook. I didn't mean that I thought Hook was a flatty, okay? I'll come right out and say, I'm sorry, I can't go with flat Earth. It just cannot happen. It just cannot be. We have too many ways to test that to know that that isn't the truth. So, So anyway, okay. So I'm taking off and love y'all and see you again soon, hopefully. And yeah, that was all I wanted to say for tonight anyway. Take off. Taking off. Truth's where you find it. Hope you find some here. Love you guys. And I'll see you again soon.